Well, hello and welcome. This is Jeff Hooks. I want to take this opportunity to welcome all of you as members of the VNI team and family to our Saturday Quick Start training. It is Saturday, April 27th, the last Saturday in April. I can't believe it. We're so excited to be, obviously 2019, we're very excited for today's training. This is our last training before our VNI Empower Conference 2019. In fact, exactly this time next week, the leadership will all be together in Charlotte, North Carolina, learning from each other, celebrating. We'll be right in the middle of the morning general session on Saturday. We'll have an amazing lunch after that, an afternoon session with some keynote trainings from some of our top leaders. We'll have our founders communicating. We'll have Bill Downs, we'll have Kim Downs wrapping up the general session on Saturday. We'll have an amazing recognition and celebration dinner and banquet on Saturday night, and it's going to be awesome. So speaking of that, we've got our very own Ed and Gina Bender. Why don't y'all turn your I've changed it up a little bit. I want to bring y'all in a little earlier. Ed and Gina Bender, ambassador leaders, the #1 income earners in the world of VNI, which simply means they've helped more people so far than any of our other leaders. But Ed and Gina, we're less than a week out from our Empower conference. Share your thoughts on where we are and any ideas for the team that you want to share regarding the Empower conference.
Okay, well, I'm so excited because we are less than a week out, actually about 5 days to be exact. And Jeff, we are excited because we're going to have a lot of new partners here at this conference that we're going to have the opportunity to meet. And guys, I just wanted to let you know it is not too late to invite more people to the conference. We will make room for them. Even if they can't be there for one day, we've had several people reach out and, say, well, they can't come for Friday, or they can't come Saturday, and that's okay because the corporate team, and thank you, Jeff, for doing this, have made it available for you to be able to invite a person to come for one day. And I believe the ticket price is it 90, Jeff, for the one day?
It's 90 for one day. And to your point, don't lose your train of thought, but let me share one detail. If someone can come, to your point, Gina, for one day, they're also invited to the welcome reception. You come one day, either Friday or Saturday, and you purchase that, you're invited to the welcome reception Thursday night, and we're going to feed you. So we're going to feed you some amazing food, and it's already set up on the shopping cart on your website. You can pick a day and get the one-day registration pass. And we've had, in fact, Mike Boston, I just had a conversation with one of our leaders, Mike Boston, and he's getting a couple people to commit to one day where they had a conflict on the other day. So back to you, Gina. That's a great point.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, build for the event. This is our biggest event of the year. This is an opportunity to meet and greet, your leaders, the up and coming leaders and partners that you've had the opportunity, to meet over the phone. And so we're really excited. Ed, would you like to share?
I just want to tell you, if you've not been to an event yet, this is the event you want to come to. Gene and I know that conventions over the years have been exactly what propelled our business, and the amount of people that we had at the events is what propels your business. So for you are the people that are brand new, it's great you're coming. If you've got a team put together already, get your team there. And Gene and I have been heavily involved in the last couple of days, just making sure that the people get their team to the event. It'll shave months off your training and shave years off your business, increase your business more quickly than you've ever seen it grow. So.
Yeah, exactly. And also, if you're brand new and listening to this and you're seriously considering coming to the event, go to VNI.life, click on the partner tab, and then scroll, and you'll see on the banner the information about the conference. Click on that link, and that'll give you all the information. Ed and I had the opportunity a few days ago, and we didn't share this with Jeff yet, but we're so excited. So we said, let's go over and let's check out the hotel.
And
we were blown away.
We looked at it. It's really a nice place. And I mean, the people that were in there, everybody was dressed well. It was just a nice experience. And I also explored the area to see if there were other eating places, although we're going to have plenty of food here. I want you to understand there were other places around that you could eat in the area within, not walking distance, but definitely driving distance. So, I just want people to know there's things to do here in Charlotte also, but it's a great place. We want you to be at the event the whole time. We don't want you really leaving it, and that's the reason for all the food that we've got available for you. But it was an extremely nice hotel.
Yeah, and Jeff, I want to share too that for those that are listening to this who are brand new or considering flying in, there is an awesome website out there called skiplagged.com. And I went on that site the other day and looked at a flight from Orlando to Charlotte, and it was like $137 round trip. So that site is designed for last minute tickets. And a friend, or actually a partner of ours, Beth, shared this with us a few months ago. And I know we have several partners that have been able to take advantage by using Skip Lagged. So, do whatever.
SKIPLAG?
LAGGED.com. Skiplagged.com. Yes. So write that down. And know too that once you get and you land in Charlotte, the hotel is literally 5 minutes away. And you'll be able to pick up the shuttle from the hotel, and it'll take you directly, to the hotel.
No, from the airport.
I mean, you'll be able to pick up the shuttle from the airport and go directly to the hotel.
There is a shuttle that goes directly from the airport to the hotel, and vice versa. I think it runs a couple times a day, but they do provide that service. I think it's free too.
And they run more than twice a day. They run several times.
Yeah, they actually are, and you can call them. They're running till, I think it's like 8 a.m. in the morning till 10 or 11 at night. It's awesome.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
and that's SKIP. I put it in the chat bar. SKIPLAGGED.com.
Correct.
Okay, perfect. So what's interesting, and I'm gonna come back to y'all. Here's what's important, and both of you referred to this. Ed, you specifically said we're going to be feeding you very well. I want to make sure everybody understands that, because we do have some partners that, because of the travel and family commitments and other priorities, they're on a tight budget. Mm-hmm. And we want you to know that registration fee is covering a lot of food. So, for example, Thursday afternoon, for you directors and above, leaders, we've got a breakout session starting at 2:00. That's all on the agenda that's on your website. And you click on, as Gina said, click on your partner site, and then click on the Empower Conference banner, and you'll see the whole agenda. But we got the 2:00 directors and above breakout session, then a VIP reception for directors and above at 5. So we're going to feed the leaders. So if you're not director, get director, and next year we're going to feed you even more. And then we have the welcome reception at 7, where we're going to feed you more, and there's tons of food. Kim Downs, our chief business officer and co-founder, was in charge of menu selection, and I'll tell you, she walked the rest of the corporate team through the food options on a conference call yesterday afternoon. And everybody, in fact, I'll tell you, I stood up and gave a standing ovation on a conference call. So we're going to feed you the welcome reception. Friday morning, there's a coffee station. We're not going to, breakfast will be on your own, but we'll have a coffee station at the conference room in the ballroom. Then we're feeding lunch. Friday night is on your own, and we're going to be, that was really by popular request. We want the leaders want to be able to get together with, and you're all leaders, but want to get together with your teams and goal set and communicate and debrief on what you learned for the day. So Friday night is free for you to go on your own. The hotel's great. The atrium's huge, so you can meet and have meetings and strategy sessions. Then coffee station Saturday morning. Then we're going to feed you lunch Saturday afternoon, and eat a good lunch, but don't eat too big of a lunch, because Saturday night's recognition and awards celebration dinner is going to be big time. I mean, we're talking anybody that leaves there comfortably full has amazing discipline.
I noticed too, Jeff, while we were in the hotel, that They have stations around in the atrium where they've got a lot of fruit. They've got, you know, the oranges, apples, bananas. They've got the water stations. So it is a great place, as you said, to meet and greet with your team and game plan and strategize, because we've got to hit the road running as soon as we get back from this conference with, you know, we don't even know it all. It's going to be like Christmas for us as to what you guys have been putting together over the past year. So, but we're excited.
And to your point, there are new announcements. There are other new things that are really exciting. There's some more new things that are extremely exciting.
More exciting.
That's right. There's going to be recognition, fun, teaching, training. In fact, as y'all know, Ed and Gina, because you were intimately involved in this, we have 12 partners, 12 leaders from the field through the course of the Friday and Saturday general sessions that are going to be on stage sharing ideas, teaching and training, things that are not theory, things that are working in helping them expand their VNI business and mission. And so we're going to be sharing ideas. It's going to be awesome. So with that, let's transition to our training for today. As always, folks, our commitment at these quick start trainings, whether I'm involved, whether Ed and Gina, whether Cynthia, whether Lisa Turner, whether Ken Nasmitz, whether TJ Dillingham, whoever is leading, and many of you. And by the way, if you want to develop into and I believe you do, or you wouldn't be on this training in most cases. If you want to be a leader that we equip and to be leading these trainings and leading our Thursday night presentations, let me know, let Ed and Gina know, raise your hand and say, listen, whatever your background is, whatever your experience, put me in, coach. I want to be on a leadership development track to lead. It's my calling. I'm passionate about it. And we will begin working with you. Ed and Gina will begin working with you. I will work with you, your sponsor, your leadership team. We will do it in a team effort. And we want to grow leaders. This VNI mission is too big for any of us on this training. It really is. The opportunity is too big. The need is too big. The opportunity for contribution is too great across the U.S. and Canada and the rest of the world as we move forward. So if you aspire to that now or at any time in the future, raise your hand, reach out, and we will connect with you and put a plan in place to develop you into leading these, because we've got 12 partners that are going to be leading from the stage at the conference next week. And that's a big honor. That's not something that's not political. It's based on merit. It's based on performance. It's based on leadership. It's based on attitude. It's based on contribution. It's based on service. And we want you, if you want to be part of that leadership team as we grow, just raise your hand. Okay. Now, in terms of this training, we want to hit some, Ed and Gina and I talked last night and again this morning, we want to focus, as we always do, on fundamentals. And in fact, we're going to start there. I'm going to use the chat bar a little bit more than usual. If you're taking notes, master the fundamentals. One of the things that I've learned, and I want to toss this over in just a second, Ed and Gina, to both of you. One of the things I've learned in 30 years plus of being an entrepreneur, and specifically in relationship marketing for 30 years this year, I've learned that, I remember seeing top income earners like Ed and Gina, ambassador leaders with VNI, and I thought, wow, how could they build? I shared, listen, their organization, I guess it was Wednesday, their entire VNI business, that's customers and partners, get this, did right at $35,000 in product sales that day. And folks, we're just getting started. Ed and Gene will be the first to tell you. So $35,000 is in sales in one day. All right. I remember, you think about that. How in the world does that happen? They must be doing extraordinary things. And what I learned is top leaders like Ed and Gina don't do extraordinary things. They master the fundamentals and they do them extraordinarily well. and they do them consistently, and they focus on helping people. So let's start with that concept for our newest partners. We don't want you to ever be overwhelmed. It's about progress, not perfection. Okay, so I'm going to put that in the chat bar. You want to focus on, over time, there's a learning curve, mastering the fundamentals. Ed and Gina, does that resonate with your experience as you've learned and grown through the years and as leaders?
It actually tickles me because people call us all the time and say, "What's your secret? What are you doing differently? Are you buying leads? Are you doing this? Are you doing that?" And we tell them none of that. We're not doing any of that. We're doing the same thing we've always done, and that's relationship marketing. Now, people get confused sometimes between, whether it's cold market or warm market, and I've always said this: if you have something in common with the person, that's a warm market lead, and I always work on our warm market. It doesn't matter what's in common. It may be that we go to Food Line every Thursday at the same time and I see the same people. At least I've got a connection with them of some sort. And that's not a cold lead, that's a warm lead. That's somebody I know from, every Thursday being at Food Line. I don't shop at Food Line every Thursday because Gina don't cook, but I'm just using that as an example. But you got to understand, we do the same things that we're teaching you to do, we do. There's not any secrets. It's not really, we just do it more often. We do it consistently. We do it all the time. Gina, you want to add to it?
Yeah, it's about being consistent, and treating this like a business. If you treat it spare time, then you're going to get, very little results. If you treat it part-time, that's great, but you want to make sure that you do allot the time, 5, 10, 15 hours a week to your business and do what works. When you first start this business, it's about the relationships you have, put together the list. And we always talk about the list, but really that's part of the basics, and reaching out to the people the people you love and care about, and sharing the information. That's one of the very first things that you want to do when you get started, if you want to be a partner. And
now, real quick, Gina, you're getting a little bit ahead of us, so that's perfect. So let me I'm gonna blow the whistle. So we've already scripted. Gina's on page 3. I'm still on page 1.5. So you're perfect. That's all good. Hey, repetition's the mother of learning. I think that's saying, whatever the saying is. But that's awesome. Okay, so think about this, folks. As Ed and Gina both said, doing the basics, the fundamentals, consistently. Okay, I put that in. Consistency is the key. What Gina said, and then and as Ed said, the only difference between Ed and Gina and anyone on this training, live or recording, okay, is that Ed and Gina have done it more. Think about that. A mentor of mine used to say, and I'm not going to chat this so you can write it down, do the basics, do them often, do them well, rinse and repeat. Do the basics, do them often, do them well, rinse and repeat. Now, as you know, I just shared, Ed and Gina had a $35,000 sales day this past week. Okay, that's a $35,000 in sales in one day, and that's pretty soon. That's a warm-up act for where we're going. For those of you that were on the monthly corporate leadership call just a week or so back, we had more rank advancement in the month of March that we celebrated than ever before in a month. We had 30 rank advancements from associate manager all the way, associate manager, manager, executive manager, director, all the way to ambassador. Okay, VNI is on the move. It's not a question of if. There's an old saying, a leadership saying, of it would be most appreciated if those who say it can't be done would kindly get out of the way of those of us who are doing it. All right. So VNI, we're moving, and we're just getting started. And as we build towards the conference and come out of that conference, there's a whole new ball game. There were people that said the compensation enhancements would stop rank advancement. Yeah. Okay, we had 30 rank advancers the first month we implemented these enhancements. So, folks, we are just getting started, and I'm sharing that with you because you're such an important part of that. And so, as you think about, okay, what do I want to achieve? recognize it's not, Ed and Gina aren't doing, super complicated things. They're doing the basics. Now, I wanted the next principle for success, and this is for everyone. This is for our newest partners, and this is for our seasoned leaders. And by the way, right now, we're not going to do a Q&A on this particular training. It's important to understand this is a time to learn. Okay, a lot of times, this is what I've learned as I've been mentored in my career and also in sports. What I think is the most important thing to ask as a question might not be. I might be focused on the wrong thing. So what we're doing, by the way, of this training with Ed and Gina and myself is we're helping you. What are the most important things that you can focus on to expand the mission of VNI, to reach your goals with VNI? Now, one of the keys is, we talk about it every Saturday, stay plugged in. And I want Ed, I'm going to toss it back over, Gina, to you first and then Ed. But we talk about staying plugged in. Don't be an island. Don't isolate yourself. Stay plugged in to the trainings like you are right now, even by recording. These are all recorded. Stay plugged into the Thursday night presentations. Stay plugged into the monthly corporate leader. In fact, every month we start with the first Monday of each month, the monthly product call. Plug into that, learn, build your belief, your conviction about these amazing products and the science. You don't have to understand everything, but you'll come out of there with excitement. The first Tuesday of every month is a monthly kickoff call. The third Tuesday of every month is a monthly corporate leadership call, which I just referred to, where we have recognition and leadership training. Stay plugged into your sponsor, your upline success coaches. Gina, from your perspective and Ed's, how important is plugging in?
Extremely important, Jeff. That is what you have to do to be successful, because so much is changing quickly. We've launched the company 5 years ago. Now we're like on the ground floor, like a rocket ship now ready to take off. And it's important to stay plugged in because, like today, this training, it's huge. So if you're listening to this for the first time, and you mentioned one of the most important things to do, Jeff, is get to that conference, do whatever you can, get your people there. That's the next most important thing. If you're brand new and you're thinking, where do I start? You just need to be what I call ignorance on fire. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. That's why you want to stay plugged in, because you don't have to reinvent the wheel. The wheel's already rolling, and we want to shorten your learning curve. That's why we're committed to doing these teachings and trainings and corporate calls and partner calls.
I mean, to your point, Jeff, we're on every call. Do we need to be on every call? No, we don't need. We did $35,000 worth of business in one day. But we're on every call because we want people to succeed. We want to help the people succeed. We want to lead by example. We want to show people that, what you're saying and what we say, most people understand and know. The new people may not, but we want to be there every single time. And our phone rings constantly. People say, well, y'all work a lot of hours to make that kind of money. What we do, but we're not working for us. We're working for you. They got to realize that. People need to know that we're not answering the phone because we need more money. We're answering the phone because we want you to earn more money or progress your business or help somebody with your business or help them with a product question. So it's not all about us. It's all about them.
Exactly.
That's such a good point. Staying plugged in, first leading by example, and then shepherding your team to stay plugged in, because that's the key. Number one, lead by example. Your people are going to do what you do, not what you say, right?
Correct.
And so lead by example, and Ed and Gina, y'all are perfect examples of that. Well done, right? This is worth the price of admission today, y'all. Well done is better than well said. Okay? Walk as all of us as leaders. And by the way, again, go back up to the top of your notes. It's about progress, not perfection. So none of us is perfect, and we don't have to be. But focus on making progress and leading by example, getting a little bit better and sharpening your skills. And this is one of the beauties of this platform is we're all learning. And we're learning from each other. That's why we have different speakers. That's why we're having 12 partners trained from stage at the Empower Conference. it's because, we learn from each other. We share best practices. So stay plugged in and really get good. This is part of the art of leadership. Really get good at encouraging and inspiring your team, your partners to plug in. That is so important. So important. Now, next, go ahead. Yes, ma'am.
I just want to throw this out there real quick, because this happened yesterday, and I thought this is a great example of being plugged in. Yesterday, Sophia gets a call from this gentleman that's a young lady, and she calls me and says, this guy's excited. He wants to build the business. Now, she plugged into me. She plugged into you. We both spoke to this gentleman. He knows we're his upline success coaches. He knows Ed's available. And even though his sponsor technically might not have been available, and if you're listening to this for the first time and you know that you're just, you're using the products, you love them, you have other people out there that you want to share these products with, if your sponsor is not plugged in and is just a product user, that's okay. Reach out to customer care. They can connect you with the person who can be like a surrogate sponsor to you and help you get where you need to go. So that's why we do this as a team, Jeff. So
that's such a great point. That's a great point. Yeah, there's a team sport. One of the best things when you sponsor a new partner, okay, especially a partner, customers are great, but when a partner that's raising their hand and says, I want to be part of the VNI mission, I want to build a business, I want to build a customer base, I want to build a team. One of the best things you can do, and you can do this if you're brand new, is schedule a call with one of your upline success coaches, definitely, I would say a director or above, and introduce that new partner. And that's on the job training. Think about that. To Gina's point, you can shadow that call, and you introduce your new partner to some of the leaders that you're working with. They're answering questions. They're helping that new partner set the sales for their launch, and you're learning, and you're taking notes on how they do it. And do that with more than one person. You could do it on a conference call. You could have Ed and Gina and me on a call welcoming a new partner, if that makes sense. I mean, there's all kinds of things you can do, and that's a wonderful point. Then staying plugged in also allows you to be the most effective you can be. Okay, I'm not going to, obviously, as I share this, I'm not going to mention names, but there's a really wonderful performer, I would say a leader. I mean, this individual's a director, and I'm not going to release gender, but I got a call and a text it was, I think, Wednesday or Thursday, and said, hey, Jeff, when is the agenda for the Empower Conference going to be released? Because I'm really working hard to try to get a couple people committed at the last second. Well, I connected back with this individual. I first texted, then I called. And the agenda has been posted on the website for over 2 months. Okay. Now, again, this is not to berate. This is to learn. This is all about learning. We're not, the only reason, one of my mentors used to say when he would give me constructive feedback that did not feel good, he used to say, feedback is the breakfast of champions. And it's all about learning. It's not about beating anybody up or none of that. Never, never, never. That's not the heart of this company. That's not our mission. It's not our culture. It's not the way we treat people. But we can't learn. And the reality is, as Gina said at the very beginning, when we start talking about the Empower Conference, you click on partner site of your website, your website, click on partner site, and the banner that says Empower Conference, you click on that, and it all opens up. And it's been there for over 2 months. So stay plugged in.
If you go to the bottom of it, there's a link that Suzanne has put up that you click and you download the flyer. So yesterday I had a partner that is a director, by the way, that needed that flyer. So I quickly sent it over to them. So I just want to mention too, because a lot of our up and coming leaders and partners do work full-time jobs. I had one of our leaders this morning contact me that's meeting today with an athlete, and he needed a flyer. So I just sent it over there to him real quick, because when you got somebody excited that's ready to move forward, you better be ready to move forward with them. So be a responsible sponsor. Like I said, if your sponsor is a product user that isn't interested in building, find your upline success coach and let them help you.
That's right. And as the leader, If someone's in a hurry or they're not in front of their computer, in that case, Gina forwarded the flyer. But when she forwarded the flyer, she made sure to coach that partner and let them know where the information is for themselves. Because you don't want to, sometimes you do because we're supporting each other, but you don't want to do things for people that they're capable of doing themselves, because you end up creating an organization. I call it mother hen syndrome, or it's not a father hen, mother hen syndrome, where you end up doing things and all of a sudden you can only do everything for 5 or 6 people and you're capped out. So as you do that, exactly, servant leadership, like Gina says, make sure you equip them. Make sure you empower them, that's the right word, to know where this information is themselves. That's part of staying plugged in. Knowing your resources, know your website. Click on the partner site, the news feed. Click on the news feed and make sure you stay up to speed depending on your goals, depending on how hard you're working. Check the news feed at least every couple of days. If you're seriously engaged, then maybe a little more. But so stay plugged in. And then do something positive every day. And we're going to move on past this because Gina and Ed both covered this, and I have to, consistency is the key. Consistency creates momentum. Momentum is sustained through consistency. So what does that mean for our newest partners? Do a little bit every day. And there's a compounding effect. You'll be blown away with what you can achieve in a year. In fact, this is a leadership principle that is so true. Most people overestimate what they can do in a short period of time, and they underestimate what they can do in a longer period of time. So that's false. So that creates unhealthy expectations. I'm going to go vice president my first 60 days with VNI. Okay. They overestimate what they can do in a short period of time, 60 days. But my goal in 2 years is to be, whatever. And so here's the key. Consistency. You'll be amazed at over the course of 3 months, 6 months, a year, what you can do if you just do a little bit every day. And we're not talking organizing your desk. We're talking productivity versus activity. Productive. That means inviting people to learn about the products, sharing the information, following up. Okay, that's our pattern of activity: invite, share, follow up. So I want to transition now to 4 tips, and we're going to break these down. I'm going to go ahead and do them all at once. Number 1, decide what you want, and I'm going to come back to Ed and Gina to talk about each of those. Okay, this is a new topic, so it shows on the chat bar. It doesn't show really good. But decide what you want, make a list, a contact list. I wish I could type faster. All right, make a contact list. Number 3, share VNI with people on list. All right. And then 4, plug them into our system. Those are obviously partners. Okay, we're gonna break these 4 key principles. We're gonna spend the rest of our time, y'all, in these 4 areas. Okay, decide what you want. That's the building block. If you're a brand new partner, this is the absolute building block. So Ed and Gina, take it away.
Decide what you want. When we first started, Jeff, we were dead broke. So what we wanted was money. We needed to earn income. And the beauty of this is you could help people. You could do a lot of great things, but you could also earn income at the same time. And I always call it the 5th product. Bill talks about the 4 products, and he's passionate about the 4 products, and I'm passionate about the 4 products. Believe me, I am. But the 5th product is income, and there is income to be made here. So I don't shy away from that as much as some people do. I mean, we needed income. We got high school educations. We realized that we were limited and capped out on what we could actually do in the world as far as job things. Even when I worked for banks, I realized that they weren't going to promote me because I didn't have a college education. I mean, no matter how good a job I did at what I was doing, and I was #1 in North and South Carolina with a couple different banks, but I didn't have a college education, and one of their requirements is have the education to move on up in the ranks. And why that is, I don't know. But here, the playing field is pretty level. I mean, you don't have to be a superstar at any one thing. You just have to do the basics correctly. And I know you mentioned about me being a pool player, and people say, well, Ed's a good pool player because he's making shots all the time, and the shots he's making are really easy to make. Well, they're really easy to make because I've done them over and over and over and over and over again, and I've learned how to position the cue ball where they all are easy shots to make. And that's the key to it. I know you're a tennis player, so I know you understand that exactly. If you hit the ball to the right part of the court, there's not a chance they're going to hit it back. If they do, they got to hit it back to somewhere close to where you're standing, and then you've got another shot to make from there. So, we just do the simple things every day to make it easy to keep on doing what we need to do. And we begin. I've already won the game, so to speak, when I hit the cue ball the first time. And I know you're in a tennis match, you do the same thing. You already beat the partner. You just got to go through the moves to do it. And that's what we do in this business too. Gina and I always envisioned us being at the top of the company. It didn't matter who our upline was, didn't matter who we got in our organization. We knew we were going to make it to the top of the company, and we are at the top, and we've been at the top of a few more companies, but we are at the top of this company. It's our final company to be at the top of. We're not going anywhere.
But we also knew that, we have a servant's heart, so we knew we had to help a lot of people, and it's not about us, but it's about the team.
Yeah, we have to get people where they need to go.
And y'all said it yourself. I mean, y'all had a conversation with Ken Nasmiths, and you said, Ken, we're going to help you. And at some point in the future, we would love for you to make more than we do.
Absolutely.
We want people to do that.
I mean, and I just picked Ken out because that was a real-time conversation. But it could be it's anyone now or in the future joining VNI. And here's the beauty: it's Zig Ziglar. You can have everything in life you want if you help enough other people get what they want. If Ed and Gina, just picture this: if over the next 5 years, and I know the numbers, but you don't have to understand the numbers. If Ed and Gina help 5 people do better than they're doing right now, how well do you think Ed and Gina are going to be doing? It's beautiful. It's selfish generosity. It's servant leadership. It's the more you contribute to others, the more you're going to be blessed. Now back to the why, Gina. So let me bounce over to you. So the why for a new person, having clarity of the reasons why they're building their VNI business. Talk a little bit about that in addition to what Ed shared on how important that is as a fundamental building block. The newest partner, we've got a big call, a lot of people plugged in tonight. How many, we got a lot by phone too. How important is that? Just let's put the spotlight back there.
Well, why is very important. And so if you don't know what your why is, get with your sponsor, your upline coach, and let them help you figure out why you're doing this business. There was several reasons Ed and I do it. I wanted to work from home. I had been in corporate America for many years. I was with the airline industry, and, going to an office every day wasn't exciting for me. I didn't enjoy punching the clock. I didn't want to fight the traffic. At one time, over the years, I had to drive almost an hour to work and an hour back. And so I love to be able to work from home. If I don't want to, get up and get dressed, I can work in my pajamas. I took a call last night after 10 o'clock, and I could do it because I'm working from home. I can choose to work when I want to work, with who I want to work. And that was one of my big whys. Also, I wanted to create, financial freedom as well as Ed. We knew that as long as we were working for someone else, that we were exchanging hours for dollars. And we wanted to create, true residual income for us so we could enjoy each other. We could work together. We could travel when we wanted to. We've got children, we've got grandchildren, and we wanted to be able to enjoy them and do things with them that a lot of parents or grandparents don't have the opportunity to do. So there's several whys for us, but you really got to figure out what the why is for you. What motivates you to get up every morning? I love getting up every morning because I love what I do. I'm very passionate about it. Ed is passionate about it as well. So, and it's not a job to us. So
that's awesome. That's so, and let me build on that real quick. So to your point, so for every partner, whether you're a seasoned leader or brand new, and this is your first quick start training, you should memorialize as a starting point what it is that you want out of your VNI business and why that's important to you. It's folks, because this is a volunteer sport. It's a volunteer mission effort that we're on. Nobody's gonna, nobody's gonna put you on a performance improvement plan, like in traditional jobs or carrot and stick stuff. I mean, you're your own boss, and there's that's a blessing in a lot of ways. But there's a lot of people, a lot of us, many individuals have never been self-employed. So you got to have the initiative to roll out of bed instead of roll over in the morning. And the way to do that is to have clarity on why you're building your VNI business. Like Ed said, they were focused at the beginning of their career. I mean, is it food? Is it shelter? Is it your car? Is it paying off debt? One of the things that we as a company are going to help. I would love, as a VNI family, in the months and years ahead, to declare war on consumer debt, because I think that's one of the biggest problems that families all around the world deal with. And that's a whole nother conversation. But the fact of the matter is, if you look at consumer debt, it's not by accident. There are some predatory business practices going on in the marketplace that are luring us, manipulating us into taking on debt and spending more money than we have. And I don't mean to get preachy, but I would love, one of our missions, we're talking about blessing people physically with these amazing products with unprecedented scientific validation. As we do that, it's exactly what Ed said, and it's 100% accurate. Our fifth product is the opportunity to earn income. I want to declare war on debt. And so whatever that why is for you, you need to write it down, have clarity, share it with your upline success coaches. You can, you don't have to share everything. It's your choice, but share what you want to share so they can help you get where you want to go. Now, I'm going to transition to one quick leadership point on this topic. Help as leaders, when you bring a new partner on, you want to help him or her get where they want to go. Now, in order to help them get where they want to go, here's the key. Wait for it. You got to know where they want to go. Write that down. You got to know where they want to go. You got to meet your partners where they are now in order to know where they want to go. Hey, think about that. You got to spend a little bit of time. If I were to, the rhetorical question for everyone, think about your partners, the newest partners that just joined your team. Think about some of your existing partners that you've been working with for a while. Do you know their why? I mean, do you really know their why?
Yeah.
Now look, this is not Ed and Gina. This is everyone else. I'm looking into your eyes. Do you know what they want out of their VNI business? And if you don't, that's an opportunity for leadership improvement. Spend some time, talk with them. What do you want out of it? Hey, if we were to have a cup of coffee 2 years from today, what needs to happen in your VNI business for you to be happy with your progress? So meet your new partners where they are now. How do you know where they are now? Not where you think they are, where they are. And the only way to know that is to ask questions. Take notes. Connect. There's a leadership tip. Ed and Gina are the best at it. Connect with your team. Ask questions.
And it's not too late to start, Jeff.
Yes, that exactly.
Even
Exactly.
Partners,
Yeah,
connect
exactly.
with them, especially after this conference. I connected with a leader from Canada yesterday that's been with us since the beginning. And she's more excited now after I shared with her, some of the things that, you know, are going to happen at the conference, of what little bit I know. But she's so excited. She's like, well, I'm going to get my team together and let's do a webinar. We'll go over it. And, you know, I want to build in the States too. So don't give up on people. Go back and follow up.
Just so true.
And I don't know if this has happened to you, but we've had a number of people call us and say, what's going to go on at the conference? And the fact of the matter is, we don't know, but they think we know. They're constantly picking our brains to see what they can get out of us, which is hilarious to me, because I really am looking forward to the conference. I am looking forward to seeing the people. I'm looking forward to seeing what the corporate team's doing, because we don't have any idea. We have a
it's going to be great. It's going to be great. Now, listen, I don't want to run out of time. Decide what you want. We've covered that. We've gone deep. And guess what, folks? There's more to it. But hopefully you got some nuggets. And as Gina said, it's not too late.
Yep.
It's not too late. Help decide what you want with clarity. Write it down. Review it daily. If you're a person of faith, pray about it, think about it, reflect on it, and then know what your team wants. Meet your new partners where they are, and know where they want to go. That way you can help them. Really connect with your team. The only way to know is to ask questions with your team. Now, make a contact list. You know what I'm gonna do? We're gonna go quick here. Contact list, folks, is the lifeblood of your business. It's important. It deserves more time. We've gone deep in that in some other calls. But Ed and Gina, how important, not just when you're brand new, but as an ongoing tool for all partners, how important is the contact list?
We add to it daily. I mean, it is so important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have lists on my computer too that I've accumulated over the years. For us, there's not enough hours in the day to reach out to everybody that we want to. But we plan on it. But when you're brand new, you know, your contact list, you probably have it in your back pocket, which would be your cell phone. You know, years ago, we were writing it down, and we still write down contacts. I've got a list over here, a book that I put contacts in and prospects that I'm working with now that I've not closed. So continually add to that list, and don't only work in your list, but help your new partner create their list. And teach them to, you know, help their new people build their list, because you're building from list to list and working within that list. That's relationship marketing. You'll be much more successful if you do that than trying to get sidetracked and buying leads or doing social media or going off in another rabbit trail, so to speak, because we've always did it from working a list.
And working a warm market list. Mm-hmm. And like I said, we've talked about warm market. I'm going to talk more about it at the convention, but warm market is so important.
Yes. Yeah. And to your point, you know, and I know you're going to train on some of this, but if you're meeting people, depending on where you are in the world, but there's always people around. And if you need to use social media, that's great. Don't try to sell stuff on social media. If you're in an area with not a lot of big population, just connect with people. And when you're ready to share VNI, take it offline. That's the way, that's the key. But you're always, as both of you said, you're always adding to your warm market. Here's the key word, folks. Be intentional about adding people to your contact list. Be intentional. Meet people. And that doesn't mean you have to pitch them on VNI right when you meet them. It doesn't mean you got to follow them out in the parking lot and then you know, poor product. Relax. Change their, you know, exchange information. Say, listen, let's grab a cup of coffee. I'd like to, you know, would love to bounce some ideas off of you on some things I'm doing. And, you know, just keep it relational. And again, we always say, you know, make a friend, find a need, transfer the feeling. What's number one in that? It's make a friend. So that's how you be intentional about making friends. You will never, ever, ever run out of people to talk to. My last network, y'all know this, but my last network I built, and it's been over a decade ago, as a partner, was with a company that didn't have anything close to what we have with VNI in terms of the products, the science, anything, nothing. Okay. Now we did some things right, but I'll leave it at that. And I was blessed to build a team with an amazing group of people that we assembled that had over 70,000 active subscriptions in 40 countries around the world consuming the product. Now, here's the key. Think about this. That was full-time for 5 years. Now, I didn't come close to exhausting my warm market.
Mm-hmm.
Not even close. Now, you might say, well, I don't know as many people as you do. And maybe you don't, but you get the point. The idea is you can always add to your contact list. And the biggest tip, folks, for today, and Gina even went there, is help your team. You sponsor somebody, you bring on a new partner, get into their warm market. Don't delegate that. Don't release that. Be intimate with it. Their contacts are now your contacts. We'll say that one more time. When you sponsor a new partner, and Ed and Gina are nodding their heads, when you sponsor a new partner, here's a secret. You want a secret? This is a secret. You sponsor a new partner, their contacts are now your contacts.
Correct.
When somebody says, I'm out of people to talk to, they don't get that. Yeah. Don't be distant with your new partner's contacts. Those, be intimate. Those are yours. And help that new partner with the exposure process. And that's something that Gina and Ed are experts at. Gina, go ahead.
I was just going to say too that, you know, when you're out there and you're building your list, look for influencers. You know, when Ed and I started in the relationship marketing business, you know, years ago, I don't know if I would consider us an influencer, but over the years, we have become an influencer because of the relationships we've built and because of the trust and the love we, you know, from helping other people. They know that we're a person of our word, that we're going to do what we say we do. But there's so many people that are coming into Victory Nutrition now that are influencers. And that's why we're going to see such an explosion in this company over the next, you know, few months and years, because we are different, Jeff. You know, everything about Victory is in place now. And that's why I'm excited to get through this next week, because I know that you were a huge missing piece of the puzzle. You're here. What you've been able to create in the last 9-10 months is phenomenal. And
8 3/4 months, but who's counting?
So,
one day in 3 hours.
And you work tirelessly, you know, Bill and Kim work tirelessly, Steve, the customer care team. We are just so grateful to be able to have this opportunity to be part of, you know, Victory. And if for those that are listening to this, you know, we're grateful you're here, because I believe in divine providence. I believe there's a reason you're here. Become part of what we're doing. You know, hang on, because, you know, there's going to be a wave that comes through like we've never experienced before. We've been in companies and had success, but nothing like what we're all going to experience in Victory Nutrition. Bill and Kim and you, Jeff, you're setting this company up and backing it up by science. I don't know of any other company out there that has the science that we have. And I've looked on the websites. We're prospected a lot with other companies, and there's a lot of fluff and stuff out there, but we've got the proof, the backing, the science, the research, the technology, and no other company has Bill and Kim and you, Jeff. So we're very blessed.
Well, that's awesome. Well, listen, y'all stay with me, because we're in the home stretch. We're not going to go deep, folks, on the exposure process or plugging them in, because we've touched on it from some different angles. But simply put, for our newest partners, the exposure process is we call it sharing and caring. Okay, it's invite, share, follow. Invite people to learn about these amazing products and the business. Invite people to learn. It's a sorting process. Sorting process, not convincing. Okay, now that takes the pressure off of you. If you're brand new, it's about sorting. We're looking for people that are looking for better health physically, better health financially. When you realize that, you can't say the right thing to the wrong person. You can't say the wrong thing to the right person. You can lighten up just with a smile on your face and love in your heart, and just invite people to learn. It's an educational process. Share the information, use the tools, use your upline success coaches, then follow up. Invite, share, follow up, rinse and repeat. We call that the pattern of activity. And folks, that's where you want to live. In terms of the difference between productivity and just activity, the difference between being productive and with your mission with VNI and adding customers and partners and just being busy is right there, that pattern of activity. The more new people you and your team are sharing VNI with on a daily, weekly basis, the faster you're going to grow. And I'll tell you, again, we started the training on mastering the fundamentals, the basics. It's just like Ed said with being a master pool player. The reason he makes it look easy is because he's practiced those fundamentals, where to leave the cue ball, to make it look easy. But that's what's interesting about leadership. The more you work at something, the easier it looks. But folks, here's the key. You can do this, every one of you. You can master over time the pattern of activity, inviting people to learn about the product, sharing the information, following up, inviting, sharing, following up. That's what we do every day. Now, here's the key. Are you doing that every day? Because that's how you grow. That's how you rank advance. The more you do that, the faster you're going to go associate manager, manager, executive manager, director. Okay, so Ed and Gina, I'm going to toss it over to you. Closing thoughts. I do want to share this. I had a very good conversation with Michael Saletti yesterday, Presidential Director Michael Saletti. And he was talking about the fact that when you sponsor a new partner, that's not the ending, it's the beginning. That's where the work really begins. And that's kind of what we've been talking about, the servant leadership, helping people get what they want. So what are your closing thoughts, both Ed and Gina? I want you all to wrap up the training in terms of the pattern of activity and then plugging people into the system, which we've really covered to a large degree. What just any thoughts you want to share, any closing thoughts at all? I want you all to wrap up our training today. Thanks so much for being with us.
You want to go first?
No, you go.
Okay, Jeff. Well, thank you for letting us wrap this up. Pattern of activity. Get started, begin. Until you begin, you're not going to be successful. Make that list. Get with your success coach, your upline partner, or your sponsor, and let them shorten your learning curve. And, I know we're 4 or 5 days away from our conference. I can't stress enough to you, even if you're brand new, do whatever you can to get to this conference, because it is going to shorten your learning curve by at least 6 months, if not more. It'll give you an opportunity to meet the leaders, the corporate team. Everyone's going to be there. And, we'll be there. And we'll lock arms, we'll put together a game plan, we'll help you over the next few weeks and months build your business. And Ed, would you like to add anything to?
I think the training's been great today. I think everybody's learned what they need to know. And I just want to thank you all for joining us today, because, this is what we do. If you don't understand that, you don't know us at all. This is what we do on a daily basis, is help you get better at what you need to get better at. And, we take phone calls, we teach, we train, we ask you to do different things. We want you to watch videos. We want you to look at your website, like Jeff said. We've covered a lot of this. But we want you to get better at what you're doing. We want you to get better physically. We want you to get better financially. We want you to get better, period. That's hope and abundance, which is what this company's about. So,
yeah, I'd like to end too, if you're brand new, one of the great websites that the company has available is yvni.com. If you're new and you say, where do I get started? Go to that website. Watch those short 3-minute videos that Bill Downs put together, because it's about sharing and caring. Share those videos with as many people as you can, as fast as you can. It's much easier to build fast than it is to build slow.
That's so true. And now, real quick, I need to say this. I want to make sure everyone knows this. You don't need to go to yvni.com anymore. Okay? With all due respect. Yeah. Because every video that's on yvni.com is strategically embedded in your marketing website. So VNI.life/whatever, every single video that's on yvni.com is embedded in that video. So you can still go there if you want. We're going to keep it live. But I just want to make sure you know that the marketing website is going to be always, even with maybe new stuff, Ed and Gina, that we've got coming out, maybe, I don't know.
Guys.
It's all going to be embedded on your marketing website. So that one tool is such a powerful resource. So anyway, it's all about coaching.
Too.
Yeah. All right, back to you. Now, you said what your last comments were spot on, and I want to go back to where you were flowing, and I'm going to zip it, lock it, and put it in my pocket.
Okay, Jeff. So Jeff again just let out another secret, something that they're going to unveil at the conference. So again, thanks for joining us. We love you all. We look forward to seeing you next week, and have a wonderful and a blessed weekend. God bless you all.
See you in a week.